Yo, 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 it's your boy Bernard, and welcome to another episode of the Angry Blerd podcast, where I'll be discussing everything nerdy that has caught my eye this week. Not quite nerd news, but I have to give a rest in peace to Tchéky Karyo. So, the name might not sound familiar to you, but he's been in several movies that you've seen over the years. He actually passed away on Halloween at the age of 72 in Brittany, France. Cause of death was cancer, but I'm going to list off some of the movies you might have seen him in. So, he was in Bad Boys. He played Fouché, who was the main villain. GoldenEye, he was the Russian Minister of Defense, Dmitry Mishkin, Operation Dumbo Drop. Addicted to Love, From the Earth to the Moon, which was a mini-series that was done by Ron Howard, and also produced by Tom Hanks. He was in The Messenger, the story of Joan of Arc. He played Jean de Dinoux, Wing Commander, which I forgot was an actual movie that I actually saw in theaters. It's based off the video game. It has Freddie Prinze Jr. in it, Matthew Lillard. The Patriot, Kiss of the Dragon, Taking Lives with Angelina Jolie, The Good Thief, The Core, which I've been meaning to rewatch. I downloaded that movie like so long ago, and I just keep meaning to watch it. I just haven't gotten around to it. But not a lot of English performances. He did do a movie called The Grave Dancers in 2006. But yeah, mainly, if you're an American person, you might recognize him from Bad Boys. I almost said Boys to Men. 72. He was married, but eventually did get divorced. Got married his second time and had 2 kids. So yeah, rest in peace to Tchéky Karyo. All right, letting you guys know right now, another slow news week because it's towards the end of the year. Like, a lot of people aren't really promoting that much stuff unless it comes out in the first quarter of the year. But I got 2 trailers that I am going to react to, which I meant to send to this computer, but screw it. I will just watch them from the YouTube pages, respectfully. So we got a teaser trailer for Scream 7. So as we all know, Neve Campbell is back. David Arquette is back. Matthew Lillard is back. Courtney Cox is back. Jenna Ortega and Melissa Barrera are not. And neither is, what's his name? Mason Gooden, I believe. And Jasmine Savoy Brown, who played, I cannot remember the name of Jamie Kennedy's characters in Scream. Randy's niece and nephews. Oh, okay. Apparently he is in this. Yeah, Chad Meeks Martin. Let's see. Let me just go to Wikipedia. All right, so cast: Neve Campbell, Courtney Cox, Mason Gooden, Jasmine Savoy Brown. Okay, they did come back. Roger L. Jackson is returning as the voice of Ghostface. Isabel May is joining the cast. As I told you guys previously, she's playing Sydney's daughter. Joel McHale is Sydney's husband. David Arquette returning as Dewey. Anna Camp, Mark Consuelos, Ethan Embry, Asa German, McKenna Grace, Celeste O'Connor. Why the hell do I know the name Celeste O'Connor? I'm sorry, but this is going to be one of those things that annoys me. That's all right. Oh, she was in Madam Web and Ghostbusters. Sam Reckner, name also sounds familiar. Michelle Randolph and Jimmy Tartaro. And Roman Bridger is back as well. All right, so let's check out this trailer.
This is it.
Hey, it's Jimmy.
Can't believe we're staying at the Psycho Killer B&B.
Oh,
Okay, that was a little
cool. It's a motion detector.
Watch your back. Yeah, this ain't gonna work out for you. Oh.
Hello?
Hello, Sydney. Did you miss me? Nice little
That's
town.
Chainsaw Massacre.
You and your pretty daughter reminds me of where we grew up.
Well, you sure know a lot about me for another asshole hiding behind a voice changer.
Oh, I'm not hiding, Sydney.
Oh, Joe McHale's the cop.
Not this time.
She got a panic room in her house?
Down to the end.
Why would you lean your head up against the wall?
I want to be a fighter, like you. If you hurt her.
I'm not going to hurt her until you're here to see it.
Let's unmask this fucker.
All your friends died for just being near you.
Where is my daughter?
Tatum, listen to me. He's trying to find another way in. We're gonna do this together. You're gonna have to shoot him through the wall.
Where? To the right of the door. Shoot him now! Do it now! Oh, you got it.
Get in the panic room.
He's dead.
Shoot him in the
You
head.
shoot him in the head.
I'm gonna burn it all down.
Mother!
This is gonna be fun.
All right, day before my birthday, because my birthday is on a Saturday. All right, so that looks good. I wonder how they're going to explain the absence of Melissa Barrera and Jenna Ortega. Because, what were their characters' names again? Sam and Tara. It's just like, okay, I mean, like only 4 people who were brought in for Scream 5 survived, and 2 are only coming back. So you got to explain, why they're not there. And I believe Kevin Williamson is writing this one. He finally came back to help flesh out the story, because I don't think he's been a part of the franchise since 4, I want to say. Since that was, the last one that Wes Craven worked on before he passed. Yeah, the last one he actually wrote was 4. So yeah, February 27th, guys. All right. We got the final trailer for Stranger Things. And apparently the Duffer Brothers said that this season will answer a lot of things, like why was Will chosen and what exactly the Upside Down is. Also forgot that Linda Hamilton is joining the cast of this season, because she was announced, I want to say like sometime last year, or like right before the writer's strike, something like that. But let's go ahead and get this bad boy started.
At long last, we can
Begin what? Dustin got longer hair. I want to know what the time window is.
We're really starting to lose it. Being stuck in here. No end in sight. Maybe tonight is our break. We find Vecna. We end this once and for all.
What happened to Dustin? Okay, getting her Scarlet Witch on.
This isn't like one of your
They had Mike get a haircut.
You don't get to write the end.
She will too.
Not this time.
He's planning to end our world. And he's not gonna stop until we're drained of every last ounce of suffering.
Oh, man, I can feel the nostalgia and the anxiety just building up to me watching this trailer. Okay. Get ready. For one last adventure.
We stay true to ourselves.
The hell? Who's calling?
Stay true to our friends.
Do it.
No matter the cost.
Okay, there's Linda Hamilton. Oh, shit. Alright, and there's Vecna's final form.
You are going to help me. One last time.
So, apparently there's something still in Will that's been lingering since season 1. That Vecna needs. You know, Will's going to help him one last time. But yeah, November 27th. I'm sorry, November 26th. So, what's that, the day after Thanksgiving, I believe? Look at the calendar real quick. I'm sorry, that's the day before Thanksgiving. So, they don't want nobody to cook. And then Christmas, and obviously the finale will be airing on New Year's Eve, which is supposed to be, I think they said 2.5 hours long. So the finale will be a movie. Like I told you guys last week, it will be released in theaters as well. Okay. So what I need for them to do, since this is basically their Avengers Endgame moment, I don't want to hear nothing about it because this trailer clearly gives Endgame vibes since we are technically in the Endgame of Stranger Things. Every ally that they had that lived, or every enemy that lived, they need to get together, put their differences aside, and take out Vecna. So, I can't remember the name of Dustin's girlfriend, but she needs to come from Ohio. I think her parents are Mormons or something like that. I can't remember. I'm in the middle of season 4. They actually were just getting ready to go to, I think her name's Cindy's house, and I don't remember if the black general lives, whose name I'm drawing a blank on at the moment. But yeah, he needs to get his crap together. Owens needs to show up with some soldiers. It looks like they're on an army base. Hopefully Linda Hamilton gets her crap together before, Vecna crosses over. Yeah, it looks so freaking good. But I am going to take a break. Y'all know the deal. Here's the W ad, and I will be right back. This episode is brought to you by Dubby. Dubby gives you focus and energy without the crash and jitters. It has no sugar, fillers, or artificial dyes. Mix 1 packet or scoop into 8 or 12 ounces of water. Stir or shake well. Some powderiness is normal, and it has all the important vitamins. So this has vitamin C, B3, B6, and B12. And it's made from coffee fruit extract. So drink it and go conquer a task. And go to debbie.gg and use my promo code angryblerd10 at checkout to save 10% on your order. That's debbie.gg with promo code angryblerd10. We got an update on Doctor Who and its future with Disney Plus, and it's simple. There's no future with Disney Plus. So the BBC confirmed with a statement a few days ago that after 2 seasons in the upcoming spinoff, The War Between the Land and the Sea, Disney will not renew its partnership to co-fund and distribute Doctor Who, but the show will return Christmas of next year with a new special written by Russell T Davies. So they said, we'd like to thank Disney for being a terrific global partner and collaborator over the past 2 seasons and for the upcoming The War Between the Land and the Sea. The BBC remains fully committed to Doctor Who, which continues to be one of our most loved dramas. We are delighted that Russell T Davies has agreed to write us another spectacular Christmas special for 2026. We can assure fans the Doctor is going nowhere, and we will be announcing plans for the next series in due course, which will ensure the TARDIS remains at the heart of the BBC. So that's good news for me. Bad news for Disney Plus, and apparently there was a lot of stuff going on in the background with, I guess the BBC didn't like what Disney was doing with aligning themselves with Trump or something like that. But I was trying to find some more on that. But I did find an article from Deadline that said, so this is an exclusive. I have no idea who Dana Walden is, but this says Dana Walden was in London earlier this month, but it's safe to say that renewing Doctor Who was not among the Disney Entertainment chief's priorities. Sources have been telling Deadline for more than a year that Disney has been lukewarm on the sci-fi series, and by Tuesday afternoon it was official. The BBC confirmed that its Doctor Who co-production agreement had vaporized, which was conceived as a plan to Marvelize the franchise, did not translate into a Big Bang. Instead, the partnership has died with a whimper, with Disney not even putting out a statement to mark its passing. So what doomed the Doctor Who deal, and what comes next? So Deadline has spoken with multiple sources in Doctor Who's orbit to say that the Disney deal fell apart for a variety of reasons, including concern over Nishuti's Gachwa show's failure to break out from its established fan base and its big ticket budget. Others suspect that fears of woke backlash may be a factor, as Doctor Who has embraced diverse stories telling under showrunner Russell T Davies. So there's been diverse storytelling under every showrunner of Doctor Who, I believe, since maybe the 70s. But yeah, so apparently a former Disney executive said that everyone got the impression that it wasn't doing what it needed to do on Disney Plus to be sustained. And another person close to Doctor Who adds the writing has been on the wall for ages. This has been a complete lack of enthusiasm over at Disney. So apparently somebody said that Doctor Who's debut on Disney Plus was one of the flops of 2024, and there was serious lack of awards buzz around the series, which only managed to get a Primetime Emmy nomination for Outstanding Choreography for Scripted Programming in 2025 during this time on Disney Plus. So apparently, on the BBC in the UK, Doctor Who had a drop-off in viewing figures. So season 15 averaged 3.8 million viewers, according to gold standard 28-day viewing figures from Barb, which is the UK's official ratings agency. And this represents a decline of 1 million viewers from the previous season. So apparently Jodie Whittaker's season, her last season, the Flux season, was watched by 5.2 million people. A period that was not considered to be vintage Doctor Who. The ratings were not up to much, according to someone who was involved in the series. So one of the main reasons that the show started to decline is simply because people just want Doctor Who to be a white man. So I remember when Jodie got cast as the Doctor, and the backlash was crazy. It's like, no, the Doctor can't be a woman, blah, 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 blah. Then, when they announced that Nishudi was going to be the Doctor, all the jokes came out about collard greens and, the Doctor having to get an Afro pick and all that stuff, and blah, 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 blah. And it seemed like the BBC saw that and they kind of pivoted and freaked out, and they brought David Tennant in to do the 60th anniversary specials, because Tennant was not known to be coming back at all. Like when Jodie regenerated into the 14th Doctor, everybody lost their crap because we didn't know this. We were like, okay, so we're finally getting the Black Doctor. Let's go, because we didn't see any set photos. We didn't see any promotional photos. Like Jodie's whole rollout, they did a whole cinematic trailer. I think even before she officially showed up on the series. But like Nishudi, he just got a press release like, okay, this is the new Doctor. You might know him from Sex Education, blah, 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 blah. Here's Nishudi Gatwa, and that's when everybody started losing crap. So I feel like, when they announced that Russell was coming back, they're like, okay, Russell, you You gotta slowly, like softly, like bring people into this Black Doctor. And that's when you probably called David Tennant, because I believe they're good friends. He was like, hey, can you do me a favor? Can you come back for 3 episodes? And I'm pretty sure it was like, how am I going to come back? I died. Are we doing some wibbly wobbly timey-wimey stuff? Like, no, we're going to regenerate you, and then we're going to do the bi-generation type situation. So I don't know. But yeah, let's see how people feel now that, you know, we got another woman doctor and Billie Piper, and let's take it from there, because you can't please everybody, and, you know, the incels are just losing it. So whatever, man. I don't know. All right, my next story. A video game franchise I do not give 2 craps about, mainly because it is recycled pretty much every year. Nothing really changes, like sports games, but it's not a sports game. All right? Call of Duty is getting a live action adaptation after trying to get this done for like, what, the past 20 something years? So Taylor Sheridan, who was responsible for pretty much keeping Paramount CBS alive, Paramount Plus, because he's the creator of Yellowstone, Lioness, what's that other show, Landman? There was something else he did. Let me look this up real quick. But anyway, he left Paramount to go do some work. Oh, he also worked on Tulsa King. He left to go sign a deal at NBC Universal. So apparently he will be writing the script for this. And it will also be directed by Peter Berg, who a lot of people may know for directing Deepwater Horizon. I believe Peter Berg also directed Hancock, if I'm not mistaken. Peter Berg will also be co-writing with Taylor Sheridan, by the way. Looking up Peter Berg real quick. He did Battleship Lone. He does a lot of stuff with Mark Wahlberg. So he did Lone Survivor, Mile 22, Deepwater Horizon, Patriots Day. Yes, I was right. He did do Hancock, but he also did Battleship. So I'm like, Peter Berg, what are you going to do? All right. So I'm going to go to Peter Berg's filmography real quick. Go to like the first thing he did, because apparently he was also an actor. He was on some show that was very meta to Hollywood. He like had a cameo on it. I'm trying to remember what it was. He was in Heavyweights. Okay. The Great White Hype. Girl 6. Which is still just like one of the weirdest movies I ever saw. He was in Collateral. Corky Romano. Smoking Aces. He was Pistol Pete. Okay. Like I said, Hancock. Why was he not credited? Oh, that's his, that's it, Doctor. Okay, here we go. His filmography as a director. So, Very Bad Things, sounds familiar. The Rundown, forgot he directed The Rundown. Friday Night Lights, The Kingdom, with Jamie Foxx and who was that? Bradley Cooper, I want to say. Chris Cooper. Hancock. He wrote The Losers. Did not know he wrote The Losers. Yes, I knew about Battleship, Deepwater Horizon, Patriots Day, Mile 22, Spencer Confidential. But yeah. So, I got to see a trailer. But as far as Taylor Sheridan goes, he wrote Sicario, wrote Hella High Water. He does a lot of Western stuff or like shooters. He wrote Without Remorse with Michael B. Jordan. Produced something called Finest Kind. Wrote a movie called Fast that stars Brandon Skellner. That name sounds familiar. Lakeith Stanfield. Where the hell do I know? He was in Dope. But yeah, creator of Yellowstone 1883, which is the Yellowstone spinoff. Mayor of Kingstown 1923, which is another Yellowstone spinoff. Tulsa King. Lioness, Landman. Something called Y Marshals. I'm guessing that's a Yellowstone spinoff as well, and something called The Madison. But yeah, don't really care about Call of Duty, but You know, it is one of the highest selling games of all time. Although Battlefield is kicking his ass right now. Anyway, my next story is simply good news. So we already knew that King of Hill was going to be renewed for season 15, which will be coming out next year. But a few days ago, they also greenlit season 16 and 17. Hopefully we'll get more than 10 episodes because I get it. It's streaming. They don't like to do like a lot of episodes. Give us like 16. Give us like 6 more. That's all I want. I'm not asking for much. I don't want 22. I mean, 22 would be nice, but I know they're not going to do that. But yeah, 16 episodes would be like the sweet spot. Next story is simply this. Keanu Reeves has a new movie that he is going to be doing, and Tim Miller will be directing it. I feel like Tim Miller did one of the Deadpool movies. Am I thinking of the right Tim Miller? Or no? Oh yeah, I'm right. He did. He did the first Deadpool. He also did Terminator Dark Fate. He also created Love, Death, and Robots. So, say what? He's an executive producer on the Sonic movies? Okay. So, he is cool with me. Also, creator of Secret Level. When is season 2 coming out? Okay, that's what I need to know. Anyway, Tim Miller and Keanu Reeves will be doing a movie called Shiver. So, Warner Brothers actually picked this up. The movie follows a smuggler who gets stuck in a time loop after being double-crossed while on a mission at sea. So, Matthew Vaughn, who is responsible for Kingsman, directed the first Kick-Ass, also directed X-Men First Class, will be producing this. And Aaron Ryder, who also produced that GameStop movie, Dumb Money, will be producing as well. Ian Shore is the scriptwriter. He described it as having shades of Edge of Tomorrow. So all we know is what I just went over everything. Is all I went over is what I'm saying. So hopefully it's good because Keanu's most recent movie that no one's talking about, Good Fortune, where he plays an angel, it's not doing well at the box office. And that's not on Keanu because Keanu really isn't the main character. Aziz Ansari is the main character. And I think he's still suffering from some of the lasting effects of Me Too. Although, you know, he was found to not be in the wrong. But yeah, this movie is not doing well. Budget $30 million, made 14. And Aziz wrote, directed, and produced it with Alan Yang and Anthony Katagas. Anyway, that's enough of that. What is my next story? Okay, so got to get my tablet. So I am going to be going over November previews for comics that come out in January. And this is probably going to take all of 2 minutes because there was really nothing that caught my eye. Not a lot of new number ones. Marvel canceled a lot of books. DC is still in the middle of the DC knockout stuff. So there really isn't much in that department. And I guess like the main previews book has gone out of business because I didn't see it at the comic book store at all. Alrighty, so one of the first things I saw that caught my eye, this is coming from Dynamite. So Greg Weisman is working over at Dynamite. He's doing everything, pretty much Gargoyles. I told you guys about the Gargoyles Fantastic Four crossover that came out. And it might have been Fantastic Four Gargoyles, but then the Gargoyles Fantastic Four one will be coming out in November. So January, we got Gargoyles and Darkwing Duck. This is 32 pages. This will be coming out January 14th, $4.99. Written by Craig Weisman and Ted Stones, with art by Ciro Cangialosi. All right, so it says worlds collides as Worlds collide as two of the most beloved entries in the legendary Disney Afternoon lineup of animated shows meet for the first time ever in a brand new title crafted by both series' original authors. Gargoyle's co-creator, Gargoyle's creator Greg Wiseman and Darkwing Duck creator Tad Stone joined forces with McLean artist Sergio Cangialosi to bring the Defenders of St. Canard and the Manhattan Clan together for an adventure so epic that no single continuity could contain it. After contracting a wary Morgana Macabre through her magic mirror, the scheming Damona West, the uncooperative sorceress out of St. Canard into her New York City lair, where she proceeds to grill Morgana for the location of a certain mystical tome with enough eldritch energy to allow Damona to finally conquer the world. Darkwing Duck, of course, isn't going to take this line down. As soon as he learns about Morgana's abduction, DW and his stalwart sidekick Lunchpad McQuack are in the air, racing towards the Big Apple to rescue his avian amour. But with a terror that flaps in the night, able to handle the city that never sleeps, not to mention the stone guardians who protect it. So, yeah. I actually got to go to the comic book store today, pick up some books. Try to yell at somebody over there because they didn't add some of the absolute stuff or ultimate books to my pull list. All right, so that's it for Dynamite. Now I got Marvel. Iron Man is getting relaunched because, like, we just didn't relaunch the book this year. Issue 1 will be written by Joshua Williamson with art by Carmen Carnero. 40 pages, $4.99. The unapologetic Iron Man is a once-in-a-lifetime hero, but the beating heart behind the armor is a once-in-a-century genius. Years ago, Tony Stark was knocking on Death's door, so he created the Iron Man armor to survive. What happens the next time Death comes calling? What weapon does he create? Then? What if someone else creates it first? These questions have haunted Tony for years, a ticking time bomb inside of him wanting to explode. Femme Fatale Madame Mask has also asked these questions, and with the power of advanced ideal mechanics behind her, she's ready to create the next great weapon. Welcome superstar Joshua Williamson as he makes his powerful return to the hallowed halls of Marvel, taking the reins of the Golden Avenger with legacy Stormbreaker Carmen Carnero. This is a classic superhero storytelling in the Marvel manner, just how you like it. I like Joshua Williamson. I don't ever recall him writing for Marvel unless it was something I didn't read, so maybe something like X-Men related, because they had 58 books going at a time. All right, this is a mini-series. This is Dungeons of Doom. All right. So this is written by Philip Kennedy Johnson and Benjamin Percy, with art by Carlos Mango, Robert Gill, Justin Mason, and Jorge Genti. I actually met Jorge Genti a few years ago. When I say a few years ago, I mean like a decade ago. I think he signed some Buffy comics for me. All right. 40 pages, $5.99, 3-issue miniseries. In the aftermath of one world on the Doom, with Doom's castle empty and masterless, the superpowers of the world race to claim control of the untold power and technology that await inside. But when an explosion sends them all plummeting into the dungeon labyrinth that none knew was there, but what began as an arms race becomes a terrifying game of survival. Who, if any, will survive, and what horrors lie within the dungeons of Doom? All right. Speaking of X-Men having 58 books, and Glorious X-Force, written by Tim Seeley with art by Michael Sta Maria. 32 pages, $4.99. Cable returns from the future with a handful of clues and gaping holes in his memory. An assassination is at hand, and it's up to Helverine Archangel and his former teammate Boom Boom to follow Cable's lead into the fire. But who are they out there, and what does Cable's faulty memory hide? Be here on the ground floor of the mystery and strap in for the most extreme thrill ride in X-Dom as an all-new X-Force blazes into battle. More X-Men stuff. Rogue is getting a 5-issue miniseries written by Eric Schultz with art by Luigi Zagaria. All right, so 32 pages, $4.99. Rogue has an idyllic life with her sweet Remy LeBeau, but there are still skeletons inside her closet, ones that come out when she least expected. Rogue has worked so hard to leave a villainous past behind. Unfortunately, the past does not stay in the past. What happens when it slams you right in the face? What past sin would make Rogue leave Haven House? Do Mystique and Destiny hold the answer? Could have sworn Mystique died unless she faked her death. But then again, I also did not read that miniseries. All right. I think this is my last one. So this is the Amazing Spider-Man Annual, written by Salim Ahmed, Joe Kelly, and others, with art by Federico Vincenti. So it says that Spider-Man shows speeds to Rapid around the friendly neighborhood. Rapid has a lot to learn about the superhero game, but the training wheels come off when Screwball live streams death and destruction across NYC. 32 pages, $4.99. Usually annuals are supposed to have more pages. Like, that makes no sense. It has the same amount of pages as a regular comic book. Annuals are usually supposed to have like 60 something pages, but whatever, bro. All right, so January 21st will be Inglorious X-Force and Rogue. And January 28th will be Iron Man and the Amazing Spider-Man Annual. And Dungeons of Doom will be released on the 14th of January. So yeah, that's it for my previews, because like I said, there really wasn't much in that department. So in a world where, podcasts are a thing and showrunners, decide to air their grievances on things that, got canceled and what they were going to do. So I feel like this should have come out this year. It's a little too late. So this is in regards to the Acolyte. So Abrams' books will be published in Star Wars, The Art of Star Wars, The Acolyte. And a few pages came out that revealed some of Leslie Headland, who was the creator of the Acolyte series, her plans on Khmer. So she wanted Khmer to actually have a connection to the Knights of Ren. So she also said that it gets better. It was in the design of the character, as well as knowing we were going to introduce Darth Plagueis, who has been up with Palpatine and his apprentice, following the rule of two, the precept that limited the Sith to just have any two at any given time, a master and an apprentice. One way to keep it going is if the stranger is the first Knight of Ren. She also hinted at an eventual connection due to the fact that some of the music that whenever Khmer showed up was very similar to Kylo Ren's music in the sequel trilogy. And she said, and since we never name him, does he have a first name? And then his last name is Ren. That's a good way to nod it without giving too much information. But, unfortunately, Disney canceled the show. So what are you going to do? It's just what if? I mean, maybe they can get somebody to do it on Star Wars Visions or something. Like have like a couple parts of that. If there is a fourth season, I don't watch Visions, but I would watch that. I also have to give congratulations to Robert Englund, who on Halloween, coincidentally, got his star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. And Robert was out there with his Freddy Krueger glove, flossing on these hoes. And, he brought out the cast of Nightmare on Elm Street. So everybody was there with him. Even, I can never remember the name of the lady who plays Nancy. Helen Grad or something like that. Helen Langenkamp was there. I need to see who else was there. So they don't have any of the photos with, everybody. So yeah, they were there. I guess they just didn't pose with him with the star. Oh, okay. So Heather Langenkamp did take a picture with them and Eli Roth as well. So yeah, congratulations to Robert Englund on getting his star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. All right, so it is time for me to cue up the spoiler alert. And I am going to be talking about season 4, episode 5 of Stranger Things, which is the Nina Project. directed by Nimwad Antwal, written by Kate Trey Fry. So Owens and Nina go to a silo in Nevada where they end up meeting with Burnard, and Elle starts freaking out, but they put her in an isolation tank of Nina that will allow her to access her memories of her time in the Hawkins lab. So Elle starts freaking out because she realizes she's kind of in a memory loop, but she has to work her way out of the loop to get her powers back. Agent Harmon dies in Argyle's van and gives Will a pin to get in contact with somebody at Nina. But he didn't give them a phone number. So they bury him in an abandoned dirt lot or whatever. And Argyle's writing the headstone. He's like, the pin doesn't work. And Will's like, why would he give me a pin that didn't have her number? Or was it Mike? I think it was Mike. He gave Mike the pin. So Mike opens it, the number's in there. They call the number. They realize that it is actually a number to a modem. And the only person close to them that they know with the technical knowledge to get in contact with, people from Nina is none other than Dustin's girlfriend Susie in Salt Lake City. Meanwhile, back in Russia, since Yuri betrayed Anatov. Alexei died last season. Anatov is in jail with Hopper. Meanwhile, Yuri is flying Joyce and Murray to Russia. And Joyce and Murray get the one-up on Yuri. And Murray goes full ninja mode. I forgot that Murray was basically Kramer in this episode. He was taking karate classes with kids. But it worked. But they also crashed the plane. Meanwhile, back in Hawkins, at Chrissy's funeral. After Chrissy's funeral, Jason convinces the rest of the basketball game to try to track down Eddie. They find a yearbook and they figure out that Lucas once upon a time was a part of the Hellfire Club. They also put two and two together that Eddie gets his Reefer Rick, who is in jail, but somebody saw some movement out at Rick's house. Eddie's trying to call for help. Meanwhile, Max, Lucas, Steve, Robin, and Nancy are doing their own investigation into the Creel house where they encounter flickering lights, which, they know that somebody is from the Upside Down is there. While they're there, Vecna is going for his next person, who is Patrick, who is part of the basketball team, as Jason and Patrick swim out to the water to get Eddie because, Jason saw that there was a boathouse. Patrick gets caught up and, gets the Vecna special. All his limbs broke and his eyes poked out, and just gets his body just left there in the lake. So yeah, Murray was the GOAT of this episode because Murray was up there. Yo, man, my fingers are like arrows, my arms like iron, my feet like spears. GOAT 20 seconds. You know what? I might post it.
My fingers are like arrows, my arms like iron, my feet like spears. Resist, and I will end you. But turn this plane around, and I will spare your life.
But yeah, man. One of the funniest scenes in this season of Stranger Things. All right. So I am going to talk about the first two episodes of It, Welcome to Derry. Since they decided to drop episode 2 on Halloween. Don't know if they're going to drop episode 3 on Sunday. I'm pretty sure they're going to wait. Yeah, according to Wikipedia, episode 3 will be dropping on November 9th. Episode 1 is the pilot, directed by Andy Muschietti, written by Jason Fuchs. Obviously Andy Muschietti directed it. Jason Fuchs wrote both the movies. So, prequel series, as we know, this starts back in 1962 with Maddie Clements, who is running away from home after sneaking into a movie theater and being, chased out by an usher who asks her family to give him a ride outside of Derry. But, the trip starts to get a little bit freaky when the family is like, one of the kids is a very articulate speller. The daughter's like playing with liver and trying to put blood on Maddie's face. The mom's pregnant, but she gives birth to a mutant baby that attacks Maddie. And then, we get a 4-month time jump where Leroy Hamlin has arrived at Derry and obviously dealing with racism because this is the 60s. And this is, there's only cusp of desegregation. So Lily, who is one of the main characters of the show, has an episode in the bathroom where she hears Maddie singing a song and sees his bloody finger pop out the drain of the bathtub. Lily decides to tell her friend Marge, Teddy, and Phil, but no one believes her. But then Teddy has his own episode where, where he kind of tells his family about what Lily told him, but his father's like, yo, we're Jewish. We've seen a lot worse stuff. Our people have had their skin flayed and put on lampshades. So he sees a lampshade with a bunch of heads on it that start talking to him. So they go to the library, do some research on Maddie's disappearance, and they come to find out that one of the last people to see him alive was Veronica Grogan, whose father works at the movie theater. And she tells him, I told the cops everything, get away from me, blah, 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 blah. And they're talking about, the voices they heard. And then Veronica reveals that she also heard some of the same voices. And Veronica knows the song is actually from The Music Man. Veronica takes the kids to the to the movie theater and plays The Music Man, where they see Maddie on the screen, who blames them for him dying, and the mutant baby he is carrying pops out the theater and kills Teddy, Phil, and Teddy's sister. And the only two who actually live are Ronnie and Lily. And the messed up thing about this is we're doing the I don't want to say it's not an exposition though. We're doing the world building because Teddy, I'm guessing, is Stanley's uncle because his name is Eurus, and like I said, Lieutenant Hamlin lands in Derry, so that's Mike's, I guess, grandfather, because it's in the 60s, and in this new version of it takes place in the 80s, so it's a possibility that that's Mike's grandfather. Hell of a first episode. I thought all that was going to be like some type of weird illusion, but nah, them kids is really dead. And that's where we pick up with episode 2. So the police investigate Veronica, aka Ronnie's dad, who they blame for the kids disappearing. But Veronica and Lily tell the police that he wasn't even there. Hanlon is actually attacked on the military base by Soviet spies who want blueprints to a plane that he is there to test pilot. But the Sergeant Masters, who was the guy who was being racist to him, gets blamed for it and gets incarcerated. Leroy's wife, Charlotte, and their son actually finally arrive into Derry. And that's it's not an awkward type of situation, but it starts to get awkward with them. So his son, Will, his first day, he's late to class. And obviously there's some little bit of racism going on, like I said, at the beginning of desegregation. He sits down, one of the kids kicks his chair right from under him before he can actually take a seat. And his wife actually breaks up a fight with some kids. It's not even a fight. It's actually one kid just getting jumped. Meanwhile, Ronnie is having a dream of her being born via C-section, her mother dying during childbirth, while the cops come and take her father later on. Dick Halloran actually shows up while the army is searching in the woods for something, while being watched by Native Americans. Ronnie tells Lily about her vision, and they discuss what Lily told the police. Will eventually becomes friends with Richie and Ronnie, but the police chief actually blackmails Lily because Lily's father died in an accident at a pickle factory, and she took it very traumatically, and then she ended up going into a sanitarium. So he basically manipulated her into saying that, Ronnie's dad is responsible for the kids being killed. Meanwhile, back at the army base, Leroy confronts Masters in his cell about attacking him. He's like, yeah, you couldn't have done this. You can't even assemble an M16. So he shows up with the pistol in question that was pointed at him and edges Masters into possibly attacking him. But he can't even put the pistol, the bullet in the chamber or anything in a decent amount of time. But General Shaw tells Hamlin that he orchestrated the entire attack to test his fear and puts him in on the top secret mission about a weapon that they're looking for that inspires fear in everyone. So Lily is actually grocery shopping and has another tormented episode via Pennywise with her father's head in a pickle jar and everything. And her mom's like, you know what? I can't do this. So I'm taking you back to Juniper Hill, which is the institution that she was in before. And meanwhile, in the woods, the army finds a car with a couple corpses inside, which I believe is the car from the first episode. And they're trying to find the weapon in question, which is none other than Pennywise. So, according to the trailers for episode 3, it looks like we're finally going to see Pennywise. But yeah, I like these first 2 episodes. The show is kicking off to a good start. I was not expecting somebody to die within the first 10 minutes. But what are you gonna do? That's it. Like I said, guys, slow news week is starting to get around that time where pretty much it's gonna be maybe 10 minutes of stories and just reviews of TV shows and things of that nature. But that's it. That was another episode of the Angry Blerd podcast. Be sure to rate, review, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. Go to w.gg. Use my promo code AngryBlerd10 at checkout to save 10% on your order. Next week, episode 6 of Stranger Things season 4 and episode 3 of It. No, I'm sorry, no, it will not be an episode of It Welcome to Derry, unless they push this week's episode up, which I highly doubt. So it'll just be Stranger Things. So, all right, guys, see you later. Peace.